To create content for your business, for the service that you provide and the service you started, you've probably heard that you gotta make content for it. And you probably have seen different people share and tell you what it means to create content. However, I've been a photographer for 11 years and I've had a business for about the same time. And what I realize that most business owners are doing wrong is that they get into content creation and creating a business, like being online and using social media. They think of it differently than they actually are doing their business. What I mean is they think the service they provide and the content they're creating are two separate things. And what I want to say to you, if you're watching this and obviously you have a business, is that they're not two separate things. Creating content is not about making up something or trying to manipulate people into things, into buying a service or what you provide. It's about creating the same feeling people get from the service they provide and basically making that the same thing as if they were watched a video. It's about attaching the same experience someone has with you in person through your service, and that being what they see online through the content you create, so that it's more of a seamless process. You want people to feel as if these are the same things. And oftentimes business owners are creating content from a place where it just doesn't feel like them. And I know it can feel overwhelming to get your camera out or get your phone out and start recording or to film what you're doing and talk about who you are. And I get it, because when I started putting myself online as a business owner, the mistake I did was not doing it soon enough. And another mistake I did was trying to sound like everyone else and trying to make my business look or feel a certain way, and there was a disconnect. So the way that you want to create content, like when you want to create content in your business and to share and tell people what you do, is the moment that you actually are doing the thing. So if you have a service that you provide and you want to create content for that, you would record when you actually are doing the content. For some people, depending on what service you provide, that could be a little bit challenging. Like, some people might not want to be on camera, and that's totally fine if you're serving a client. But when you're in the moment, I always say you should film that moment. There's no better time to get the right type of content there's no better time to get content than when you're actually doing the thing. So it makes your life so much easier, especially if you haven't done this before. If you haven't created content before, you should always be documenting and capturing what you do on camera. And that is from the setup to before you're going, the thoughts you're thinking. Like, if you are driving to a location. You can even start recording like your thoughts or what your process is or what you're thinking about before you get to your location or whatever you're doing. And then you can create the content throughout your process of when you're there. But you don't want to feel, in order to not feel overwhelmed by that, I believe that business owners, especially if you haven't been on camera, haven't even created content, you should start with filming the thing while you're doing the thing. And be honest, be genuine about it. Filming your interactions with people is one of the best ways that you can create content for your business. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can use your camera. All you need is a good audio, good lighting, and a good camera. And a good camera could be your phone. So you don't have to overcomplicate it. But if you are a business owner, having an online presence, people seeing you in the business is something that you cannot outsource.